my champagne campaign. Popping on my champagne campaign.
What's up, y'all? This is
Popping on my
Son.
champagne
What's
campaign.
up? It's your girl Camille,
Popping on my
and you're now
champagne
tuned in to
campaign.
Brunchism.
Popping on my champagne campaign. 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 Popping on my champagne campaign.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to this week's episode of Brunchism. My name is Mrs. Franklin Saint.
I'm still Sanj, so that's But welcome to this week's episode, y'all. We are here. Me and Franklin Saint.
Mrs.
What?
Franklin.
Oh, Mrs. Franklin Saint, who I just found out about. All right. Well, welcome, Mrs. Saint.
We'll get into it. As you all know, we usually start with our org of the month. So as this is the last episode for September, we want to do one final shout out to Sarah Girls High School basketball team and remind everyone that if you donate before mid-October, your donation will be matched.
Indeed.
And I'll provide the link in the episode details. Woo-hoo.
So shout out to Sarah Basketball, and if y'all got extra coins, do it.
Now,
Get
basketball
involved.
is my favorite sport. I like the way I dribble up and down the court. I keep it so fresh on the microphone. Lil Bow Wow.
Right.
Don't know who sung the original, but Lil Bow Wow remade it. It's important.
That's all that counts.
That happened in my childhood where I'd be like, oh my gosh, they got this song from so-and-so. And my parents would look at me like, what did you just say? You swine. Like, well, shit, I didn't know. Nigga. I ain't looking at the song credits. I'm 6. Sounds like Bow Wow to me. So what's your menu for this week? Hold on, somebody calling me. I don't like that.
You know what? My notes are somewhere else too.
Oh man. It's heaven. That was me. I was just kidding, heaven.
And she's gonna listen and be like, that was me, bruh. Like, what are you on? Let me write the time. So, I mean, I've had a cool week. It's been interesting. I'm just preparing for my birthday. I'm going camping next week, which I'm really excited for. Like, I've always wanted to have a birthday where I'm just like get in a cabin. It's actually glamping, but like where I just want to get in a cabin and like be out in nature and do shit. So I'm gonna be like zip lining and canoeing and all kinds of socially distant naturey shit. So I'm excited for that.
Wait, that sounds really fun. Zip lining like in the jungle and shit.
Yeah, and I don't know how jungly it is. It's Virginia, so I don't know what kind of jungles they got out there. But there's zip lining and there's like obstacle courses and shit like that. So I'm excited.
It's something that I want to talk to you about, but I'll wait until after you get back from your trip. So just remind me. But that sounds really fun.
Does it have anything to do with Virginia?
It doesn't have anything to do with Virginia per se.
Okay. I was going to say, like, warn me now. Like, don't hold back. But okay.
I'm not holding back, Brett. I got you.
Okay. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. What else? I went to...
Do you have sunscreen, SPF?
Yeah. I realized I've gone on a streak where I've worn sunscreen for the past like 7 weeks straight. Every day. Have never missed a day of wearing sunscreen.
Tell us how it has changed your skin.
It really has. Like, it's really crazy. Like, you know, like you be reading this shit on Twitter, you be like, what? And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it. Like, it can't hurt because I do remember like when I was younger, like I used to be in the hospital because I had like burns and stuff like that. And my doctors always tell my mom, like, make sure you put on sunscreen, like SPF. And we were like Africans. We're like, what are you talking? Like, we live near the equator. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do with sunscreen? But I reflect back on how serious he was about sunscreen back then. And like now I just remember it all the time. And I'm like, fuck, like I've had this information for forever and never utilized it. So it's been like 7 weeks where I have put sunscreen on every single day. And sometimes I even remember to reapply. And it really has. It's been good. Like I can't lie. Like it's really, really, really the jug.
Sunscreen is
Absolutely.
really the chemical X of like the facial routine. Like
Absolutely.
it really gives it.
And it's also like realizing that you shouldn't use certain shit if you're not going to use sunscreen. Like that was big time for me to learn. Like, don't use this if you're not going to use sunscreen. Like, okay, shit, I'm gonna fuck it up. But I got you now. So yeah, you're right. You're
One
right.
rapper that is like going through a spiritual journey and was like ranting about how we shouldn't use how black people.
Was it NLE Choppa who's like
There we go.
planting and shit and doing yeah. Okay.
The man with a name like a gun telling us what to do.
Right. Right.
Love
I
it.
mean, hey, and go ahead. So yeah, I'm for sure packing my sunscreen, and I'm looking forward to it. And then actually earlier today, so I went to the National Museum of African American History and Culture today for the first time. I hadn't gone since I moved here. Like, just weird shit happened, and I was never able to go. So like, they finally reopened, and you can get tickets. So it was actually really nice because I don't know, but before I know it was always really packed because it was obviously really difficult to get in.
Yes.
But like, because of how they're doing it for COVID, they do like, you have to sign up for like timed entry passes, and they only let like a few people in. And so it was actually really nice because like they make like first of all, I don't know how many people have been to DC, but most of the staff are Black at like most places where you're gonna be. And so a lot of the staff at the museum are Black. And so like they're like, maintain 6 feet of social distance from a party that's not yours, right? And so like anytime people would like come in, thanks for staying 6 feet away. I love it because we don't even like, as patrons, we don't have to check people. Like, they be ready. Like if they see that's not part of your group, they'll be maybe you want to go see that one over there. Maybe you should go to that exhibit over. And I was like, this is great.
So
like shit like that where like somebody else is like running interference for you, and then it's like it was really not that many people at all in there.
How much time did you get?
You could spend as much time as you want in there once you're in. It doesn't matter. But we got there, I think like 2.5 hours before it closed, so we only got to spend 2.5 hours, and we barely got through one floor. So we have to like, I feel like I'm gonna have to go like so many times to. Because even like then,
lot to take
yeah. Because even like then, like where I was at, like when I realized how much time was running out, I was kind of like starting to go a little bit faster than I normally would or would like to. And so I even know like even just the floor that I almost got through, I could still go back and see some more things that I just didn't get to completely see. So, but yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. So I started with like the bottom floor, and it's like. What is it? Chronological going up. So like the bottom is like 1400, and that's honestly the worst part. And it's like it made like you just get angry, and like the white people who are in the museum, like
I wanted them all to move the fuck out of my way. Like,
oh my gosh. And then there was like this, like where they show like the slave ships and stuff like that, how people were packed in. And there was this lady who was like reading it to her kid, this white family, and he was like asking his like this 4-year-old kid, do you think you could survive that? Do you think? And I was like, bruh, just fucking read it. Like, you don't need to be like trying to put yourself in nobody else's shoes. That's not like you're supposed to be learning like shit like that, where I'm like, but just like it may like there's something like going through that like just puts me back, and it's just a very emotional like thing. And it honestly, with everything that's going on, and I know people hate saying when people say that, but there is everything going on, but like it just pisses you off, like it really. But I was more so just trying to get into it like where I'm like trying to learn more about Black people and Black people's experiences and shit like that, less of like trying to but it's just hard. Just be pissed off like what the fuck is wrong with people, like crazy ass shit. But yeah, so I did go today, and it was a good experience. Like I'm really glad I was able to go and like get through whatever I got through. I definitely am gonna have to go like again, like probably 6 more times to finish everything. So I'm gonna plan that for the next floor that I decide to go to.
It's really massive. I don't think I was expecting like
it's huge.
But I really liked at the end. Did you sit in that room with like the little like waterfall?
I didn't get through. I literally only stayed in the basement, like that first C3 level. That's all. Didn't even get to go anywhere else.
They have
I'll
like
definitely have to do that.
sit and reflect at the end. And I didn't get a chance to like spend a good amount of time on every level either, but I did see all of the levels. But at the end, they have this like a room with it's like this like memorial type of thing. And it's like a waterfall, and you just like kind of where you can just like unpack like.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they would have that there because like
Yeah.
the energy leaving it can be like very heavy. Like leaving can be very heavy, especially when you don't. At least for me, because I stayed on that floor for so long, and it was like just the transatlantic slave trade and like just the literal like the dehumanization of people and like hearing like slave narratives and stuff like that. Like that was all that I got to see. You know what I mean? I didn't get to go to other levels and see maybe things that were closer to time today. And so I definitely make sense that they have a room like that, which is great. So I'm excited that at least there's a place to decompress, but I don't know, it's going to take me a few more visits to get through it. So,
Which equates to like 4 years because it's hard as fuck to get into.
Yeah, but now with like these timed entry passes, it's actually so much like it's crazy because I'm like, this is so much more accessible. This is so much easier to do because like you're guaranteed entry and it's not a lot of people there. So like I definitely try to take advantage of that and like, you know, it's definitely something you don't want to do around a lot of people. I feel like I wouldn't want to do that around because like people are just annoying and then it's like I mean more white people and like more tourists and stuff like that.
Your kids,
like,
how would you survive
and
that?
it's like the 4-year-old is like this little kid is just looking at their parent like, give me my Cheerios, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
They're like, this is not February. Don't know what we're doing here.
We drove here in a Mazda. We're 3. Like, what are you talking about, Ma? Yeah.
Do you think it's more important for non-Black people to see this or for Black people to see this? To be able to like experience that?
That's a good question.
Because I'm not sure. Because I dealt with when I went, it was definitely I felt like it was a lot of white people in my way. And I'm like, move, bitch. I'm trying to get my fucking history and connect my ancestors.
I think that it's important for white people and Black people to experience it, but I feel like we should do it separately. Like we should segregate it. Like let's have a white night. You know what I mean? Like y'all can come on these days during this hours and niggas won't be here, and that would be great. Or like for us to be like we could go and because like it's just like I like
that idea.
People are so stupid. Like people are so like and
you can work like your white guilt alone.
Yeah. Like I don't want to hear that shit of like. And then some white people go there to fucking teach their kids how to read, and they're like reading the signs out loud with them. Mediterranean. Shut the fuck up. Like shut up. Nobody want to hear like this is not a lesson. Like I get that you motherfuckers are homeschooling your kids, but you can't be coming here. Like that's weird. I don't know. It's just the energy is just, you know, like so if we could do it and do it in a segregated manner, I would actually much more enjoy that. Like because I do think what I did get though was like white people do need to see that shit. Like they do need to learn it and like it's so informative, like the way that the stories are told and like the narratives that they use and like the way they present information. So I do think it's important for white people to do it, but just don't do it around me. You know, like I'm like just do it and like maybe write me a book report and just let me know how it went. I don't
not a book report.
Yeah, but I don't really want to experience it with you super. Like, I'm cool off that. That shit is very weird.
I feel like all of those companies that were posting Black squares and shit and talking about social justice and helping Black people and Black Lives Matter, y'all take a company retreat.
Facts.
Like
it's free. It's free.
And all of these companies go and y'all do a retreat and then afterwards y'all
literally. Yes. Exactly.
And while y'all are doing that, we're on vacation.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I'd be with that for sure. So, so I need a few more days to get through it. So I guess I'll continuously update as I move through the floors, and see how it goes. But that first one was really, really tough. It was really difficult. But at the same time, I'm glad I went and I'm glad I did it. So I'm gonna super switch gears. I hate when I do this, but like we were like, Very weird. Another thing. But it's just like we have the range. So how could I not?
You know, we talked about this last week.
I had the range, so how could I not? So like I know you're gonna talk about a show that you've been watching, but like I started watching Married at First Sight. I don't know if you've seen or heard of that show.
I have heard of it, but I have never seen it because I get it confused with 90 Day Fiance and Stuck on the Island with My Love and Stuck on the Island with My Ex. So
actually, 90 Day Fiance is okay. Like I don't like reality shows too much, but what I have learned about myself is that I like reality shows that are of like normal people. Okay. So like not celebrities. Like I like to see like the full hot mess. Like I don't like curated drama. I don't like characters. Like none of that shit. Like I want
more Bachelor, less Flavor of Love.
Huh?
More Bachelor and less Flavor of Love.
Like, even Bachelor is like those are people who are trying to like, in my opinion, promote themselves. Like they are at the end of the day selling some sort of product. Like it's promo. So even the Bachelor I can't do, but 90 Day Fiance I love because it's just regular like middle class people being a hot mess. Like it's just more salient. Like Bachelor, it's like, you know, like they pick like the most attractive people ever and then put them out. Like I don't like that. Like I want to see motherfuckers with no neck. You know what I mean? Shout out Ed. You know, like.
Oh, is that okay? So I have heard of that show because I know him because I've seen a lot of clips with that girl is shady, right? It's the shady girl where he's like,
but he deserves it.
Like that girl, right? That's what
you're yeah. So I like I just really love hot mess. Like I just like I prefer a normal mess. Like so I started watching that and it's like the premise is like a bunch of people who are just ready to get married. Like they just
How can you be ready to be married and you aren't dating?
Okay. That's a great question. Let's pin it because I'm gonna get to that.
Okay, sorry. Go.
But it's like all these people who are just like, I'm so ready to get married. Like I'm ready to meet the love of my life. Like I'm ready to settle down. I really want to get married, blah, blah, blah. And then, so like these 3 experts, they pick 4 couples who they're going to match. So like, if they match you out of all of these, I don't know, hundreds of people, if they match these 4 couples, so 8 people total, you have to get married to that person. So like they just get to know the person. They just get to know like each of the people separately. And then they decide who they think would be a good match. And so
what is their like success rate?
Okay, so like there's apparently couples who are still together. Like I'm watching season 9, but I went back and there's like couples who've like got married. Like they've been seasons where they've gone 4 for 4, where all 4 couples have actually gotten married and stayed married. And so it's basically arranged marriages, but blind. So the first time that you get to meet your spouse is when you're walking up to the altar. And that's like the first time that you see the person. Like before that, you have no idea who this person is. Like you don't meet them, you don't get to speak to them. The first time you get to meet and the first time your families get to meet is at your wedding. So you're walking down the aisle and as soon as that's when you get to the point and look at, oh shit, that's my spouse.
Okay, how many people have? Sorry, I don't know.
Yes. Okay, there was this one girl. There's this one girl who literally cried when she saw the guy.
Okay.
And she refused to sleep in the same bed with him because she couldn't do it. They've been married.
Thank you for knowing where I was going with this.
They've been married for 5 years with 2 children. I looked back, and they've been married for 5 years with 2 kids, and they're happy. He's not that bad. I think she thinks that she's finer than she actually is.
Okay.
I think it was more so of a case of like, you're wilding for that because he doesn't look that bad. Like y'all look pretty.
It's
evenly matched. So it was weird because I was like, I think that you think that you're finer than you are. I think that was the real issue with that woman. But it does happen, like people who are like, oh no. But like you go, like you meet, you get married, you have to get married. And you go on like a honeymoon, you get to know each other for like 8 weeks, and then at the end of the 8 weeks, you get to decide if you want a divorce. But that's the only way for y'all to not be together no more. So you have to get a divorce.
And so are most of the couples, are they married? Like, 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 one person who is not a citizen of the United States and one person who is?
No, it's not like 90 Day Fiancé at all. Both of them are Americans. So all of
Okay.
them are Americans.
Okay.
All of them are Americans, and then between like the ages, I would say from like 27 to 33 is the season that I watched.
Okay.
So, like, it's not like you're gonna be like with some old ass guy or anything like that. Like, they're all.
I want the show where I get the old ass guy, like in his last days, child. He's married. By the end of that 8 weeks.
It's fucking wild. I was watching that and I was like, and it's funny because we were kind of talking about this like the last show when we were talking about like this pressure to get married because most of the people are fairly young. And I'd be like, why are you so pressed? Like, it'd be like 27. Like, I'm like, why are you so pressed? Like, that's crazy. I would imagine it would be like 30 to 35, but it's like 20. Most of them are 27, 28. And then a few 30s, but not too many people in their 30s. So, like, it's crazy. I'm like, why are y'all so pressed to get married? And then it's like, there's one guy, spoiler alert, one guy got married and then he found out his wife was a virgin and he just doesn't want to take her virginity. Like he's shook off of it. You know?
Oh my gosh, if my own husband won't take my virginity, goddamn, who will take it?
Yes.
And I hope my husband don't feel the same way when I ask him to take my virginity.
Right. No, hopefully like he's wholesome and patient, you know, like I feel like he'll be ready. But she talks about her hymen so much. Like she brings that shit up. Like she is hymen happy, dude. Like, hi, I'm whatever her name is, and I'm a virgin and I'm a virgin and I have saved myself. You know why I'm wearing a white dress? Like she is like very much a part of her identity. So she's also probably not trying to let it go because it's probably like her fun fact that she brings to the party. Like her 2 truths and a lie, that's definitely one of them. So she like, what else could I say about myself? So yeah, she's mad Hymen happy. Like she loves that thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. She's mad attached.
Hymen Happy is probably the funniest thing that I've heard in a very long time. So thank you for that.
No, it's like a crazy attachment. Like she be bragging on that shit like crazy. But then there's another chick who also hasn't dated anybody in 10 years. And then the husband was like, since her high school sweetheart, she hasn't dated. And
dated is different than.
Yeah, no, right. Nah, but she hasn't been in a relationship in 10 years. So she probably, but also I'll say this, the virgin was very specific about she very much operationalized her virginity. She said
this puss a virgin, but this mouth.
Yes. It was like,
this mouth talk.
It was like, cause the dude was like, what do you mean you're a virgin? And then she was like, well, I just never had a penis enter my vagina. And so I was like,
but it's been in my ass, my ear,
my ears, my mouth,
nostril,
everywhere else.
This little bend between my knee and my thigh. Okay, in between her feet, her hands.
Yeah. So okay. I mean, it's mad entertaining because my thing is like, who would do that? But part of it is I know that people like to
do what?
Do that show. Like I would be like, bruh, like what the like, nah.
I'm not that desperate and never will be.
I don't want to be surprised. Like, I am I definitely want to know. Like, and I have questions. And, like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is just crazy. Like, you see before they walk down the aisle, she walks down the aisle, and then they shake hands and they, like, introduce themselves. Hi, I'm. And it's like, what a way
to be people where sex isn't like in their top 5 when looking for a marriage partner.
Nah, some of these girls be freaky. Some of these girls be walking down the aisle, they be like, oh, that's my man.
Well, I just don't understand.
Ready. Some of them be freaky. And like they be talking about they ready to give it.
I want to know what the application process is like. Like when I say I want to be on Married at First Sight and this is what I'm looking for in a man, like how specific must I get is my question. For me to be able to trust that I'm about to marry someone that I want to.
But it's not just up to you. It's also like that the 3 professionals who are picking the couples get to like they get to come into your house, they do a background check on you, like they get to know you, and then they're like, oh, these people would make a good match because of this and this. She needs this. Like it's not even about what you need. People will be like, oh, like a lot of the Black people be like, I need somebody who looks like me, or like, you know, like then they'd be like, oh,
they be setting them up with.
Nah, the ones I saw, like all the Black people got set up with another Black person.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's, at least there's that. But like it'll be like what they think you need, or like what they feel would balance you out. Not like you saying, it's not like you get to go and say like, I want an athlete and I want this. No, if they come into your house and they see that you're like disorganized, you might need somebody who's more organized. You know what I mean?
I understand that aspect of it, but I guess what I'm trying to beat around the bush and say is, I don't want to marry no like ugly, no stamina, having 3 dick inch nigga.
Yeah.
Right. So what do I have to do to ensure that doesn't happen? Like, great, I need someone with a little organization. But when you interviewed this nigga,
I don't think
you gotta go into the bathroom stalls together and like
they don't check.
The expert look over, you know, while I don't know what happens
check
in the men's bathrooms, but
yeah,
you peek over to see what was, because that's something that's important to me.
Yeah, they don't check.
See that, and that's here lies.
Like it is what it is. It really.
No, it's not. No, not when I'm getting married. It's not is what it is. I'm sorry. Because now we're gonna have to introduce, you know, what is it? Polygamy.
Yeah, we need a third. Nigga, look at how small you are. We need a third and a fourth, bitch. Because this is.
I said that I wanted a man with 3 legs. This person has 2. Where's the third one?
Ma'am, you're being 3 legs.
That's just that's my main concern. But that's something that is important to me and
right
for a husband.
And nobody funny enough, like the season I watched, nobody brought up
I mean, you're not gonna go on national television and tell everybody your husband got a little dick.
No. Like when they interview you, like nobody was like, I want a really well endowed man. Like nobody said nothing like that.
I guess if they're feeling that desperate, they just like, fuck it, we make it do what it do.
Yeah, facts. But I think people also, like, what I realize is like, it's a little bit of a psychology thing where people don't want to take responsibility for who they pick to spend their life with. And so it's easier if you don't pick the person, because then you don't have to be like, it's not your responsibility if it doesn't work out. It's like, oh, these other people thought we would be good together, and so we did it. So it's not really our fault if we get divorced. You know what I mean? But it's interesting. I haven't finished it yet. I'm excited to, I don't know, see how this goes. These people are nuts. Some of them are annoying as fuck. Like, I'll be like, I don't think. Yeah, I'll let y'all know how it goes. I got like, I think 7 or 8 episodes to go in one season, which seems really fucking long. And it's the same couples. So yeah.
Oh, throughout the whole season, it's not like each episode is a new.
No, because they go through their relationship, and then you get to see them go through it, like through their honeymoon, through like trying to live together, and then they decide if they want to get divorced or if they want to stay married.
So after the 8 weeks, do they do like another ceremony or something?
Well, they sit together with like the 3 experts, and then they do like one person goes and says, I want a divorce, and then the other person is like, yeah. And it's like one person can say they want a divorce, and then the other person doesn't want a divorce, or like both people want to stay together, or like both people want a divorce. So it's really it's drama.
I live drama.
I do too. I was like, oof. Some of them, like you see people first, and I'm like, oh, this nigga's a dud, but like they end up being really nice, and then they get more attractive as the season goes on, and it's like, oh, this is weird. So
like, don't judge a book by its cover. Is that
facts? Seriously. This one girl told her husband, she was like, you need to stop giving me so many compliments. Like, she put a quota on the amount of compliments that he could give her, because he was telling her she's beautiful too much. Those are the kind of women that I can never be around, because that's insane.
What if, let me argue for her and play devil's advocate, if all of your compliments about me are about my appearance, but nothing about me past that?
I don't know you. I just met you. I literally just met you yesterday. Like, we just got
cool it on the compliments. I know I'm fine. Let's get to know each other a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
That was from a habitual, not good compliment taker.
Gosh. I couldn't believe her. I was like, this nigga is so smitten by you, and she's just like, nah. And yeah, she was black. They were both black, and the guy was like, well, I would like some compliments, and then she was like, eh.
Oh, so
I don't think so.
He's a treat others how you want to be treated type of nigga.
Maybe, I think, but I think he also was very happy with who his wife ended up being. He was very excited about the fact that that was his wife as well. So it's some interesting stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna stop there because I could honestly, and I'll probably talk to you about this show separately out of the podcast because it is so interesting. Like people are just like really willing to put themselves in some very precarious situations for the rest of their lives, and it's crazy to see how like some of it actually works out. Like, because I had to go back and Google the same things where you were. I was like, how many people have done this and like stayed together? And there's couples who literally have children, are pregnant, live together from that show. So it's like there's some sort of success rate. Anyways, how about you? What's on your menu?
Absolutely nothing. I do want to note, and maybe we don't have to tell people this, but just so people don't think that I lead like a non-active life, we are recording this episode early. So not much time has passed from the last time that we recorded to this to today.
Yes.
So all that I have been doing over the weekend is binge watching Snowfall. That's it. That's not it. I've done other things, but that is where the majority of my time went to. I love this show. People have been suggesting that I watch it for a while and I've been putting it off or whatever. Just because I was like, I don't really want to watch another like show about a drug dealer. You know, we have been doing a lot to glorify the cartels and mafias and drug and fucking mass murderers and serial killers of our time. Like it's just weird to me how much we glorify that. And then also when I found out that it was a true story about Freeway Ricky Ross, who like, you know, destroyed South Central.
Right.
You know, like did not help Black people at all. So I'll be, again, how we were talking about this last week, I'll be like, am I too woke to watch some shows? Because I keep thinking about that in the back of my mind. Like the show is, let me just go ahead and say, this is like a top 5 show of all time. Like the show is great. It's a great show.
You're calling it top 5 of all time?
Yes. It's a great show.
Okay, I'll watch it.
I like this show. I really do like it.
You know your word means everything. You know your word means everything. So I'll be in there.
Like the people that are acting deserve all of the things. You know, John Singleton was the EP before he passed away. Rest in peace. Like it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like this show is like elite, right? It's great. But that I do just want to note before I start, like that is in the back of my head when I'm watching it, how great the show is. I'm like, okay, but keep in mind this isn't fiction, and like the choices that this nigga made to get rich literally ruined Black people in South Central and all across different hoods of America forever, because crackheads everywhere, and the result of people having crackheads in their family has like been horrible for our communities. Got it. But the show, my nigga, it's a great show. Found out that the main character in real life is British, which also the main character in real life for P-Valley is British. And I also want to know that I don't know the difference.
Hold on.
In like
Pause.
British and UK and English.
Pause.
Uh-huh.
Are you saying that the actor is British, or because the actor is British?
The actor.
I was like, Freeway Rick Ross is not. I was like, no.
No,
I thought I knew what you was. I was like, okay.
About the actor, and then the actor in P-Valley as well.
I got you.
And like I said, the difference between like when I say someone is British or English and from the UK, I'm still not like sure.
I can't.
I don't know if that's like a dumb thing to say, but I'm being transparent. I don't know. But they got the accent of the niggas that be drinking tea and crumpets. When he is acting though, so fine. And you know, I have also been praying about, you know, the type of men that I gravitate towards and am attracted to and continue to entertain, right? And this show is not helping at all. Because what I realized about myself is that I just like a nigga like in charge, apparently. I think that is a common theme that I can find between some of the men that I have dated.
Yeah, y'all niggas don't get your heads off.
Hello, yeah, niggas, relax.
Stupid.
But some of the men that I have dated and like really liked, or like it has been harder for me to like let go from, is because these are niggas that knew how to like take charge and be empowering and shit. And that is something that I like. And that is something that this character portrays a lot. Because I went to his Instagram and got turned off immediately. Like, oh, gross. Accent, regular nigga, whatever. But in the show, like, he be yelling at niggas, getting niggas in line. He be taking care of business. He's smart. I love that. And I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be changing this shit, right? Don't let a boss hood nigga hit me up now. I'm gonna relapse. But anyway, Snowfall is a great show. They're not advertising us for this, but I have really enjoyed it. And I just been binge watching for a good part of my weekend. You know, I still did my, you know, Saturday cleaning with music and weed. Spend some time with family and all of those things. Got out the house a little bit, but I've been watching
Snowfall.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's been.
Okay.
But yeah, I really like the show. I encourage everyone to watch it, like people have been encouraging me to do, but it took me some time. But I'm here now. I like it. It's great. My nigga Franklin. And it's always the niggas with the names like Franklin, you know, like the most square ass nigga.
Randolph.
They have, you know, they have to make up for the fact that their mom named them Franklin. So they're like, I'm gonna become, you know, that nigga.
The hardest nigga.
My name.
Call me Frank.
You know, so that's interesting. What else has been on my menu? Don't know. Been getting new opportunities at work that I like.
Okay.
My weight has probably changed at least 4 times since we've been on quarantine in March. And I don't know why I said that, but I'm just saying it. But I don't know. I need to figure something. It's like if I am consistent on working out, then I'm eating very trash. And if I'm eating well and mindfully, then I probably have not moved a muscle.
Oh, okay.
Both I've stretched.
Okay.
But that'll be it. So if I could find a way to put them both together.
Find them together, yeah. Then it would be really peak.
You know, but that's been that. And I don't weigh myself. I can't even remember the last time I weighed myself, but I judge it by me like trying on clothes and stuff. So my weight has just been like
doing its thing.
Fluctuating. It's very strange. I don't know. I don't have much else to say. I've been watching Snowfall and it's just been stressing me out a little bit. You know, when my phone rings, sometimes I listen in the background to see if I hear some ticking to see if the feds are watching me. You know, even though I keep less than an eighth in the house at all times because I buy my weed and that's how I purchase it. But, you know, my head has been on the swivel.
Hilarious.
Looking for a hood nigga. Have you seen those tweets where it'd be like, I want a hood nigga so I could calm him down? You seen that? Like, no, he just be acting like this. No, babe, relax. Look at me. Relax. Have you ever seen that before on Twitter? It's funny. I may or may not have been the type of person who tried to calm a nigga down and said, babe, look at me, relax.
Grabs chin, squeezes cheeks.
Nothing really interesting going on. That's not true. There are interesting things going on, but right now I'm tipsy and have just been watching Snowfall, so that's all I choose to share.
I feel you. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
The fans are watching.
Indeed. Well, I'm definitely gonna get into Snowfall, but we're now going to move. And if
you need my login, let me know. Not
I will
everybody,
let
you. I'm talking specifically to you, Sanj.
Yeah. Look, see, everybody about to be hitting you up. What's good with that login on Brunchism? Sponsoring Hulu accounts around the world. That's right.
No bueno.
I'm definitely gonna get into that then. I'm gonna get into that. I needed a break after like Power, and then I watched I was watching Power and what's that other white show with the Irish Catholics? Ray Donovan.
Ray Donovan?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my nigga raised the shit. I didn't know you knew him.
Yeah. Ray Donovan.
I'm a season behind, but my nigga
I'm behind too.
He's legit.
I'm behind too, but I need to catch up.
Him and his old fucked up ass brothers. They family is
that's a mess.
Bit of a doohickey, but that,
that is a mess.
Ray and them is good folk.
That nigga crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can move on to the main course then. What was that?
Eating.
Okay. Yeah, because the food is here. It's time for the main course. So like just very interesting discourse going on the internets and stuff this week, and it just had me thinking like this obsession that we have with hearing both sides of the story. Like, I guess what I would like to start the discussion with is like, I feel like there's times when as humans, actually I would say most of the time, like as humans, as people, we can look at a situation and judge fairly well, like this is right and this is wrong. Like I feel like we have that capability of like, and it's not specific, like people might try to make it sound like this like extra sense that, but it's not. Like I feel like most people know like, oh, that's a bad thing and that's not a bad thing, and like you shouldn't do that and you should do that and like shit like that. And it's like, it seems like sometimes things just go all out of the window. And I'll say this, most of the time it does involve Black women. Most of the time when that shit goes to your judgment, high key, it does involve Black women. And it like continuously happens where shit is like question, but like I would say most times you don't need necessarily a lot of details to be like something is wrong. Like no matter what happened to precede that event, it still shouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? Most of the time, like I'm like, I don't get people's like obsession with the minutia and like knowing details and like hearing other sides of stories, because it's like you saying you want to hear the other side of the story means like what is that you're gonna now agree with the most recent.
It means that you already have prepared yourself to not believe whatever the fuck this person is saying. You already don't want to believe it,
right? And
like you're already against them, and so you need justification as to why your automatic reaction is to not believe this person by saying you want to hear the other side. You know where we see this happen a lot? Racist white people.
Mm-hmm.
When we're talking about Black Lives Matter,
right?
Do it all the time. I need to see the full video.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened before this started. We can't get mad at the cops because we don't know what information they were given. We need to hear both sides.
It's like,
I'll let you finish.
Like, but it's like, okay, like even with what you just said, it's like, to me, even if like, and I think this is something that's kind of like coming around a little bit more, even if somebody does do something like resist arrest or like punch a police officer, people who want both sides of the story want to make it seem okay that somebody lost their life or was like the victim of violence because they did that. But that don't mean it's not like the same thing. Like,
because newsflash, the police don't have the power to sentence someone to death without trial. Right?
Exactly.
So
like,
even
and it doesn't matter. Like, part of being a police officer is like knowing, like, at least in my mind, or in like a perfect world, hey, there's criminals out there who may have guns and we have to know how to approach that.
And I trained for this.
Not kill somebody because they have a gun. Nigga, you have a gun too. So what if I shot you because you have a gun? And now I'm in jail. That's crazy.
And I'm also able to take down people that are a threat without lethal force when I choose to.
Yes.
Sometimes I don't.
Yes.
So hearing your full story means nothing.
So you show the capacity, right? Like you've shown that.
I'm trying to tread lightly so I don't like yell during this topic. But
I got you.
So
I get you. No, but it's just like for me, I also think that sometimes it happens where people try to have that when I think internally it's situations that they know they could find themselves in, because it's something that they could know that like they could be in that position. So like, in
We
order
call
to
that projecting, people.
yeah, like in order to hedge my bets for whenever my my eggs hatch or something like that. There's a saying or something.
Whenever the skeletons roll out of my closet.
Like I want to make sure that like people also hear me out, and it's like those, to me at least, and I feel like we talked about this not on necessarily the podcast, but just in general, like people who want to hear like what happened in like a rape or like a sexual assault. That to me, I've always be like, you are absolutely an abuser.
You're an absolutely nasty ass.
You are absolutely, like, there's ways that people out themselves with like their responses when I'm like, gotcha. Thank you for putting your ass out, because now it's clear to me. It's clear to me what kind of person you are, because what you're doing, like, because it's like niggas who will defend something that has nothing to do with them, like allegedly, right? On the surface, it has nothing to do with them. And I'm like, I was there to be like, why are you going so hard for this? Why are you going so hard for this? And I'm like,
the Cinderella, they want their foot to fit in that slippers.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
I'm not even talking to you, bro.
I get it.
You got hit with a stray.
Exactly. It's because
thanks for telling on yourself.
You know that could be you because you've been in those kinds of situations.
You know that was you.
Right. Or that it's something that you think about doing. Like, it's something that is in your realm of like reality that you could do. In like, at some point you may need somebody to hear your side of the story. So like shit like that is so annoying to me, because I'm like, y'all all putting your ass out, because to me it's very easy. I'm like, okay, you're an abuser. You're an abuser. You're an abuser. You're an abuser. Thank you. Thank you.
I think something important for you to, that something important that you said too that I want to highlight is talking about how, because I had this debate with people before, but how we all generally know right from wrong. And we just do. Like, I'm not about to go tit for tat with you and decipher how you know that something is wrong. Like, I've had people tell me like, well, I think two men together in a relationship is wrong. So how can you tell me what right and wrong is? Like, oh my gosh, my nigga, because you're trying to be a fucking asshole. You know that if you walk into somebody's house and just shoot them in the head for no reason, that's wrong. Yeah. You thinking that two niggas shouldn't be together is an opinion.
Right.
You still know what right and wrong is. So don't try to play with me and don't try to take me on this ride and send me through all these different
like these theories and like try to be like
and theories and analogies and all this other
situations
shit. We
and
know
like
what right and wrong is, bro. So don't fucking play me for an idiot and stop trying to be so specific and nitpicky and be like, but you said this. And I don't want to hear none of that bullshit.
Nah.
We know what right from wrong is. So when you want to hear both sides of some bullshit so that you can ease your projections and your past and your insecurities and your desires. That's all that is to me, my nigga.
Right.
I don't want to hear any of the I want to hear both sides of it. Like, that shit is so fucking weird.
I want to
hear looking at niggas and I be like, hey, I know that you a nasty ass nigga. Not just based off of what you said, but because I actually know that you're a nasty ass nigga. Like, I know. I've heard things.
I want to hear both sides. I want to hear both sides. Is like when two kindergartners are arguing over like whose snack it is. You know? And I just have no context and I just need to like, oh, so who brought the snack? And why did you think it was, like shit like that? Okay.
No, I took the last ramen noodles. And so you thought that they were yours because we both bought the same brand. So I need to hear both sides of this argument.
Right. That only extends so far when it comes to things that are just immoral. Like, they're just wrong. Like
being murdered,
violence,
being raped, and being
violence,
shot,
any kind of violence.
Stealing from someone. And fucking like, are you
like just it's something that is like very much blowing my mind, because like, again, I will continue to say this, but I believe that most people, unless you're like some sort of psychopath or something, you do know right from wrong. Like, people do know it, and it's just like denying it because of the flaws. Like, you talk about projections, like the flaws that you have, and trying to like make shit some sort of gray area that has no gray area. You know what I mean? Like creating these like gray areas for yourself to exist in. When you're like, nah, bro, like you're just showing your ass, like completely showing your ass, like
all of it, the stretch marks, the discoloration, the birthmark, the pimple, the hemorrhoid. You're showing all parts of your ass.
And it's crazy because like people will believe one story until there's another one, and I'm like, what? Isn't that what your sense of judgment is for? You can't just be like, well, this is the most recent thing that happened, and this is what I heard, and so that's what I believe. And then no, I heard this, and that's what I believe. You have a fucking everybody has a sense of judgment. I think everybody has a sense of judgment.
Backbone. Like, it's crazy to see niggas really just like go with whatever way the wind is blowing. Like, y'all niggas can't stand on shit. It's disgusting to fucking see. And let's stop, you know, beating around the bush. You feel me? Because this topic stemmed from Megan and Tory. And so what irritated me, I'm assuming.
Well, okay, and what really got it for me was, first of all, with the Breonna Taylor thing, mm-hmm. like people are very much searching out details. And it's like,
that's
but
why someone was sleeping got murdered.
In my opinion, like no matter what details there are, somebody got murdered in their okay, even if she wasn't asleep, in their home, in the safety of their home.
With a no-knock warrant.
Exactly. Like, so
the wrong
motherfuckers want to like be like, oh, you guys don't know this story. You don't know this. And then so like with the situation that happened like last week when we was recording, and that was the day that it came out, a lot of that was happening. Fast forward to earlier this past week, the situation with Megan and Tory happened. And so like just the combination of those for me personally, I just blew my mind seeing how people work. Like,
because I want to ask, like, tell me then the story to which this outcome is justifiable.
Yes.
That's what I be wanting to ask niggas. Like, if you can break it down to me clearly with, you know, sources and examples and everything as to why this outcome is justifiable, then I will listen. But you just want to say some fuck shit because you're a fuck person.
Yes. Like, especially with like I'll go back just one more time to the Breonna Taylor situation. Like, people who want to point out that her boyfriend shot his gun too. If in this country, in the United States, people be rah-rahing about their Second Amendment rights.
I'm like, you mean the same people that say that, you know, they should be strapped in case someone
if anybody breaks into my house, I am busing. I'm busing. Like, that's what a lot of people say. That's what a lot of people say. And so, like, that's all we hear. And as soon as it changes, like, the point of your Second Amendment rights are also partially to protect yourself from the state. Because if they're executing violence against its citizens, you also at the same time need to protect yourself. So if this person is executing their Second Amendment rights, that these are the same people who fight for and tout and are like rah-rah about, it's just
same
like
people saying they can't be enforced for the police can't enforce wearing a mask.
Right.
People.
Right.
That's walking around with their guns.
Don't tread on me. Those motherfuckers. And it's like, it's so mind-blowing because, like, again, you talk about people not having a backbone and only standing on shit that benefits them. Because realistically, like, y'all are, if people really believe in their Second Amendment rights, they would be on the side of her boyfriend. Because literally what he was doing was what a lot of people say they would do if they were in that situation. You know what I mean? Like, so that blows my mind. It's like these details to be like, oh, but this happened, but this happened, but this happened. How is that? How does that lead to this extremely violent and final act that happens, you know? Like, how, like what you said, can you take me through the story in which this is the correct answer, in which like this is how it should have happened? Like, tell me what details would support your believing this is how things should go. You know what I'm saying?
And it's just that people already have what they want to believe in their head. Mm-hmm. And so it's whatever argument they choose to justify that argument. Like that, I know you probably saw that video of the black police officer that like tased this white lady at like a football game or whatever.
Yeah, I did see that.
It was a private property. You're supposed to have on a mask. She didn't, so you got to leave. She refused to leave. She was resisting arrest, resisting to leave. She got in trouble, right? And you have all these white people like having something to say about it. I'm like, but y'all the same people that told us to comply. Y'all the same people that told us to not resist.
You know the rules, so why don't you just follow them?
Y'all the same people that said Blue Lives Matter.
They told you the rules.
Trust the system. Like it's just so things conflict, right? When it's not in your own interest, which goes back to the base of this conversation, where it's like when you say you want to hear both sides, it's because your interest is already against the person whose side you already heard. That makes sense. So you need to find a way to justify how your fucked up thoughts make sense. So you want to hear this other side in hopes that it supports the reason why your fucked up thoughts make sense.
And again, I think another really important thing that you said was that people have no backbone. And to me, what that's talking about is like, people talk about standing for certain things, but you're not 10 toes down for that. You know what I mean? Like, you're really not. Like, you can sit here and rah-rah about your Second Amendment rights, but you don't actually want to see that fucking happen. You don't. Like, it's the same thing as people who want to say all lives matter. That's not true. You don't actually.
Because if all lives matter, you wouldn't be talking back to us when we say Black lives matter.
You would have no problem with it.
I agree.
So that's what I'm like. People really don't have like. I would say like personally, I'm a very principled person. Like, I'm very principled. Like, if this is, I'm okay with this, and I'm not okay with this. It's no like, oh, but like, what? Nah, like, this is what I think all the time about this specific thing. I don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't matter if it's your Second Amendment rights. It doesn't matter if it's my Second Amendment rights. It doesn't matter if it's their Second Amendment rights. They should all be protected, is what I think that people who have that belief, if you really felt like that, that's how you should stand 10 toes down for that thing. Like, again, people don't have a fucking backbone. It's about like protecting their own interests. And then having this like cloak of like, oh, but it's my beliefs and it's what I think. No, you don't actually think that. You don't actually feel that way. And you should think a little bit more about like how you feel and what you think, because you're lying to yourself. Like, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. And so I'm also going to transition to like the Tory situation and the Megan situation, because like one of the people who just, and I think, you know, pretty soon we'll have like an episode about cancel culture, but like not necessarily cancel culture, but like we should have like a like let's put people on the back burner as far as what the fuck they think, because I am done and have been done with T.I. Like, I
want to actually dedicate a whole series, like a whole month's worth of T.I. bashing.
I am finished.
And I tried to tell you about ATO and nobody wanted to listen to me.
I love that film.
I hate T.I. and everything that he's a part of. He has some jams. I'll turn them off just like I turned off the R. Kelly jams. And just like
I'm done with T.I. I'm done with T.I.
I'm
done with T.I. Ever since
nothing good
you want to talk
our community. And
this whole episode is coming full circle. Because you want to talk about Hymen Happy? You want to talk about Hymen Happy? It's that nigga. He is the fucking president of that fucking fan club.
He's the president of the Hymen Happy, double standard,
full of shit, cheating on their wives, beating women up,
Napoleon complex,
fake,
colorist.
Talk about a person who says that they have certain beliefs. Niggas talking about Atlanta is the Wakanda.
I hate that so much, because Wakanda is not a place.
Dead.
He said this would cut. First of all, how do people not laugh when, like, if T.I. was sitting in front of me and preaching the fucked up rhetoric that he preaches, it's gonna be hard to me not to burst out laughing immediately. You know, so that's my first concern, is how people don't immediately burst out laughing at this nigga.
Like, when did he become this like spokesperson.
Because people liked his little TV show. And they say he was a good dad till it turned out he was hymen hunting. T.I. the
People
hymen
liked that
slayer.
show. People liked that
People
show.
liked it when it like was first coming out. They were just like, it really shows how great of a father Clifford is. And so people really were drawn to that fact.
If I have a show and I get to pick what gets to be put on the show, you can't necessarily take that and justify my own character because it's my own propaganda for myself.
Careful, you're making sense. And that's not always a good thing when you start making too much sense. So be careful. Tread lightly.
You're right.
But yeah,
like
we can get on T.I. at a much later time. But I can't stand the flea. Can't stand the midget. And
who cares? Who cares what Tori told you? That's so crazy.
Why did you even go and hit that nigga up? Why were you so concerned about his side?
Crazy.
And I saw a tweet that I saw a tweet and then a retweet. So somebody tweeted, Black men are so concerned about seeing or getting both sides of this story, and we're gonna keep that same energy the next time a Black man gets killed by the police. Like, oh, we need to hear the same story. And somebody retweeted like, hey, like, y'all know that's
toxic, right?
It's too much. Like, and I agree, but at this, like, I know that is right. But at the
I know how you feel.
Like,
yeah,
I like them, but I can't stand these niggas. Like,
right.
You didn't go sit down with the fucking Atlanta Police Department and the Louisville Police Department when niggas was getting killed. You didn't go sit down and see their side of the story and see what the fuck was going on with these niggas. But a Black woman is telling you that this shit happened to her, and the fucking hospital records are telling you that this shit happened to her. All of a sudden, well, let's hear this nigga out because he, was on live. And let's hear this nigga out because he, makes music. And I make music.
Right.
Let's just hear what he has to say because we're all in the same community and we all make music. So we can't shun this, this Black man. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, are y'all niggas serious? And then there's a bunch of niggas too talking about, well, why didn't Megan just tell the police? The same police that y'all been saying we should abolish? Those police? Are y'all niggas serious?
Yeah, for real.
Are y'all actually serious right now?
But Cam, also, if it would have been like a man in that same situation and a man had lied, it would have been like, oh, that's a real one. That's a real one. You kept it real. Shout out to you for not doing this, that, and the other.
Bitches can't even keep it real, right? We can't even keep it real without question. Like, well, she should have told if it was that serious. Like, we've been saying fuck the police since like the 80s. No, that's a lie. Since they were first invented to fucking capture runaway slaves and shit. Like,
and I went to the museum and they started saying that in 1400, actually.
Like, we've been saying fuck the police. And that, but always, every time a Black woman says, hey, this nasty ass producer or nigga touched me, he raped me, he shot me, he hit me, Black men are always like, why don't you go to the police? Like, wait. The same police that we know will kill y'all niggas for falling asleep in a drive-thru.
And do I need that on my conscience at this moment? Nah, bro. Like, how does that make sense?
And and I will just say this too, like, as a woman, I have definitely been in situations before where I have even been like, damn, I'm not even gonna tell my dad or my cousins about what just happened to me because I don't want these niggas to go to jail. Because if I tell them about this encounter I had with this man, if I tell them that A, B, and C has happened to me, who knows what they would do, and then they would end up going to jail for something.
It's not something you want on you.
That's not something I want on me. If I'm into it with these niggas, I have been out in public and like arguing with niggas, but the cops come in, let's all dip because I'm mad at y'all right now, but I don't want y'all to get arrested and killed.
Yeah.
Because I know how the fucking system works. And the same Black men that we try to protect that from, while y'all are fucking harming us and putting us in harm's way, you're going to say, well, we should have went to the fucking police? Like I said, the same police that we have been trying to abolish, if not that far with it, then at least defund. Those same police that we've been protesting, Those are the ones that y'all said that she should go to. Like, are
and
y'all
not even
fucking
then,
mental?
but you remember a few, like maybe a few months back when the conversation was also happening around sexual assault and sexual violence, and it was the
They said
same
the same
thing
shit.
where it's literally black men being like, well, you should have told the cops. You should, like,
Baby, not even white women get believed when they get raped and go to the police station. So what the fuck you think my black ass is gonna do? My old busty, big booty black ass. You think I'm gonna walk in and say I got raped? They're gonna say I was asking for it. Not even white women get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that. So what you think going in there and telling the police is gonna do that? They have all these fucking untested rape kits just chilling. Like, what are y'all actually talking about? Y'all just saying shit out the side of y'all fucking ass.
Exactly. So again, to me, like, people don't actually believe what they believe. Like, you niggas can't.
That's born and raised in Houston.
You guys can't be anti-police. You guys can't be anti-police and then in the same breath talk about, oh, you should just tell the police. How? If
it just
doesn't like,
make any
do
sense.
you believe what you believe or not, or do you just want to protect yourself and your own interests and the people who move like you? Because it's the same niggas who want to talk about Bill Cosby and R. Kelly and bringing down, like, what are you protecting yourself by? Because you see yourself in the shit that these niggas do. And it's a potential for you to get caught up in the same situation and you want to be heard out too. To me, at least, that's what's registering personally.
That sounds a lot like, to me, the whites. And so when we say things like straight black men are the white people of the black community and they get offended by it, and then shit like this happens, it's just hard for y'all to argue against it, my nigga, because that sounds a lot like when there were polls being taken in the 60s at the height of the civil rights movement, asking white people like, hey, do y'all think it's a problem the way black people are getting treated? And they were like, nope, don't see a problem. I don't understand what everybody is talking about. And then later, now, those same people were like, oh yeah, it was bad back then, but right now it's not. Like, you denying what's right the fuck in front of you. That's what the fuck it sounds like to me when black men start saying dumbass shit like this. All of a sudden, black women are just supposed to be talking and cooperating and trusting the fucking police when some shit happens to us. Shut the fuck up. Y'all niggas sound dumb as fuck. Y'all literally picking and choosing. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't expect much out of these niggas. I really don't. But I was really, really disappointed seeing all of this shit going on with fucking both Breonna Taylor and Megan. Like, y'all niggas are really saying this right now? Are y'all niggas, y'all are serious? Y'all are being serious. Y'all are genuinely saying we need to hear both sides. Y'all are genuinely saying, well, she should have told the police. Y'all are genuinely saying these things out of y'all fucking mouths. Really? Like, y'all, this is what y'all really believe.
After what y'all was just saying when it was a black dude or a black man experiencing violence, from the same, like, it just blows how people really don't stand on what they say they stand on. Like, again,
I said it once and I said it again, these niggas would have been on the fucking bus while the rest of us was walking to fucking work in Montgomery. These bitch ass niggas would have been right in the back of the fucking bus chilling. No sunburn, air conditioning, all of the work. So we fucking walking to work and carpooling and shit. No fucking backbone, nothing to stand on. Double standards, because these niggas is cowards and they scary and they nasty and they doing the same ass, nasty ass, weird ass, controlling, abusive ass shit that these other rap niggas are doing. And so now they want to fucking give niggas the benefit of the doubt and hear the other side of the story, because like you said, you want somebody to hear your side of the story when your nasty ass shit.
When it's your turn, right? Guess
what? We're not listening to none of y'all.
We're not hearing it. And thank you for putting your ass out, because again, and we talk about this often, every single time, and I hope if anybody hears, every single time you want to defend something that in my mind is indefensible, or like some sort of like just crazy ass forms of violence, sexual, physical, gun violence, I don't care. To me, you're telling me that could be you. Because for me personally, I am like, I can sympathize with a victim because I've been in those situations, or like I see myself being like the person who would actually experience the violence, or like I don't never see myself as the perpetrator of violence, nor have I had like those kinds of experiences to be like, oh, like I can relate to that, or like I could see how that could be, or like I've never experienced that. Like for me, I'm usually a person who's defending myself or is just in a situation where I'm like, it's more likely for me to end up there than not. And so like it's immediate for me to think like, and not only that, but just again, there are right and wrong. I don't even think it's necessarily about like what I could see myself as or not. It's just that certain things are right and wrong. But I will say like I can sympathize or empathize with people, with victims, because I either have been in those situations or have had those experiences. And when you like sympathize or empathize with a person who's perpetrating violence, I'm assuming
believe that you're
that
doing
it's
so
because you can relate to that. And so I hope that every single person who apologizes for rapists, who apologizes for any kind of abusers, who apologizes for people who want to perpetrate gun violence towards women, like, that's you then. I hope like that is how I will for sure and always will see you, because that is the most craziest thing to me, is to be like, well, what about what they...
Because I can't think of anything that Megan could have done to deserve being shot.
And unless she had a gun on her and she bust first.
Unless she was busted.
If she busted first.
That's the only thing.
That's the only way.
The fact that she allegedly got out the car and was walking away is enough for me to know that she should not have been shot.
Exactly.
So whatever.
But the fact that you shot her in the foot, like, where you shot, like, you got shot where?
Because niggas are saying things like, you know, damn, I lost it. It was in my mind and then it just fucking left. That's the devil. Damn, I forgot. But the way that niggas were trying to justify her being shot.
Was it like the fact that she was drunk and like...
Yeah, we don't know what she said. We don't know what she did, blah, 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 blah. But she was walking away. So after
I don't care what she said or
after
what
that, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, so what are y'all actually trying to argue? Y'all are trying to argue that y'all are emotional ass. And let's talk about
it. Also, actually, you know what? What it also brings up, and I know we have to wrap up this segment pretty soon, but like the Slim Jimmy thing that just happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, apparently, I don't know if y'all know Slim Jimmy from Ray something. I don't know. I can't say the second one. There we go. Thank you, because I can never say that damn band. But like, I saw people who are like, a man has the right to protect himself from blah blah. A pregnant woman. That's the type of shit.
Bitches.
That's the type of shit where I'm like, a person who is pregnant with your child and you bust out their fucking teeth, and then you have the right to protect yourself from a pregnant woman who's carrying... Wow, really?
You know what that sound like again? That sounds like when people say the police should protect themselves because they're scared. But then I think about the fact that you've been trained to take down criminals, and you do so when it's not Black people, and so it leads them to believe that you're just scared of Black people. So guess what? You shouldn't be a police officer.
And it's like,
it sounds not like that when I'm talking about he was hitting her and he was blah blah blah. Like, you sound like a bitch. If a pregnant woman was giving you the fucking works,
a pregnant with your
like
child. You better run. She can't run. Like, also, like, we watch y'all get disrespected by y'all niggas all the time, and y'all don't never hit them.
What a great...
Y'all never... I'll be sitting there like, whoa, y'all disrespecting each other back and forth, and I know.
And I've seen some of y'all niggas talk to each other and talk about each other's women and each other's moms.
And I don't never see y'all do that.
Shit. I ain't never seen y'all step to a nigga and knock his teeth out. Maybe some slap boxing if we lucky, but that's about it. But
niggas don't say that shit. And that's when niggas get very good at using their words. I'd be like, oh, these niggas.
All of a sudden, niggas know how to express themselves.
All of them don't fucking say that shit, bro. Like, don't. All right.
It's just all so strange.
It doesn't make sense.
I knew that.
It makes me feel crazy.
We're strange, and niggas weren't all the way there, but the last week has really just been very...
It's been tough.
It's been so disappointing. Like, y'all niggas are serious. And the most shocking thing to me always is that these Black men don't see the parallel between the things that they say and do with the things that white people say and do in response to Black Lives Matter.
The same thing that they experience, right?
They're doing the exact same things. They're doing the exact same things, and they don't see the parallel. And it's mind blowing to me.
It really is. It really is, because it's like you are fine with you being in that position, like, but you don't want to be. It's okay when you are the person who's doing the dominating. Then it's like those systems are fine, but again, it comes back to a backbone and being like, y'all, like, I feel like people really have to sort of dive deeper into what they believe and like what it is exactly, because most people would probably find that it's not necessarily like that they don't like police, but they want to be the police. Like, as long as I'm not the person being policed, then I could be that. Or as long as I'm not the person, like, I'm fine. So you're not actually anti-police, you're just anti being the victim. Like, you want to always be the person who's wielding the power. Like, you're not actually standing on any kind of like moral beliefs or like any kind of like actual correctness, you know what I mean? Like, you just want the power to be you, and if it's you are in that position and you're actually okay with that system existing exactly how it is, like, you're not ready to actually be like, I'm gonna let go of power for the better of something else. Like, it bothers me because I think people purport like, or they try to fake it like that's how they are, but realistically, you just want to be the police. You want to be the perpetrator all the time. Like, you're just never wanting to experience the negative effects of that system. You know what I mean?
For me, it's also the lack of empathy. I can look at a situation and not necessarily have to see myself in that situation and see how the situation is fucked up. But it seems like, specifically in context of what we're talking about, it seems like for Black men, they're like, oh, well, that shit wouldn't happen to me, so I don't really give a fuck about what the hell is going on, what you have to say. Like, that just sounds dumb, whatever.
That could never be me.
Because in your mind, it can never be you. Something doesn't, I don't have to look at a situation and have to see, like you were talking about with the white people in the museums, like, I don't have to see myself in that situation to know that it's a bad situation, right, to know that this is wrong. I don't have to see myself in it. I can just empathize and understand that that is wrong because it's wrong.
Because it is, because you know that is, again, you talk about, you have that thing, you have the power to do that. Like, you have the power, and I think everybody has the capability to do that. That's wrong. That's right.
And that's it.
And that's thank you. That's it. Okay. Perfect.
That's it. Yeah. Fuck these niggas. Fuck
that's all
both
I have to
sides.
say about that, because
fuck both sides, for real.
No, really.
The fact that you're even, if you are looking to seek to see both sides when you see something that's fucked up, then you have to check your motherfucking self. And that's just the bottom line.
That's it. Like, there is a reason why you want to see both sides, and ask yourself why that is. And then you'll probably learn something about yourself. Like, maybe you should turn yourself in. Or maybe if they ran some of those rape kits, you might be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe you should turn yourself in. I really like that. So they put a lot of dumb things on shirts, but that's something that I would maybe you should turn yourself in.
Maybe you should turn yourself in.
You sounded a lot like a nasty ass nigga.
Report yourself.
Until we could give you the help that you need, lock yourself up.
We got to do something about this. Yeah, anyways. So that's that on that. Do you have anything else to add or say? I think we dropped some pretty good gems on that.
I don't know. Whatever else I had to say, I think I left it all on Twitter.
Good. They let you back in. This is great news.
They did let me back in.
All right.
They didn't respond to my emails and me cussing them out. They just let me back in and like kind of.
So it worked. Even better. You don't need to go. You don't need to do the back and forth.
They never told me why I was suspended, but whatever.
That's fucked up.
I know.
So, well, we can move on to the check.
Cha-ching. So for our new listeners, the check is a portion of the show where we both pick someone who needs Needs some guidance and some tough love.
Oh, I don't have no love for this person.
You see me trying to be mature about it?
That's cute.
Someone who needs a good cursing out. So, Sanj, who are you choosing?
I'm going first. This is a person I think we've been cussing out since the inception of this show. I'm going with 45, the quote unquote leader of the free world.
What world is free?
No, the white people world, like the free world. It's not my world because my shit. Listen, I'll tell you who's not free, and that's me. Listen, based on the main course, we are all bound, bruh. We are fucked. But so like earlier today, it came out in, I think the New York Times got a hold of the man's taxes finally for the past 2 decades. In 2016, he paid $750 in taxes. $750. $750 in taxes. That is absolutely insane. And we talk about
that's nothing to him. That's like 0.0000000000000000001% of this nigga's wealth. Like that is that's literally walking past a penny on the floor that a bum has pissed on.
Exactly. Like it literally is not based on like the kind of business that he does, the amount of businesses that he runs, stuff like that. Like it's honestly such a slap because like I think about sort of the black folks and the marginalized folks who've gotten caught up by the IRS for much, much, much less.
A single mother of 4 living in the projects has to pay more taxes than that. Like, what are we talking about? That's insane. $750?
$750 fucking dollars. My God. And it's, I guess for me, I'll say this: the check isn't.
Hey, that's
the check.
Shoelaces.
The check isn't necessarily to the person who did it, because we already know this is a greedy motherfucker who's gonna do whatever they're gonna do. But this should be like the biggest deal ever, considering that they're holding our own money and not giving us anything throughout this pandemic. And he didn't even pay taxes off a full stimulus check.
The taxes that he should have paid alone would have secured us for at least 2 more stimmies. Like over the last 10 to 15 years.
And they're holding up our money with their little politics.
That's the reason why we can't get the money, because he
ain't paid.
His taxes are so much that just because he didn't pay them, we can't get our stimulus check.
I cannot hear about our country's debt anymore because I know where we could go collect. Like I know who we could come up on real quick who owes us. You feel me? Uncle Sam needs to run up on that man. You feel me? Like, what's good? That's crazy. That really is $750. Yeah, that's my check. Whatever system allows for that fucking shit to happen.
Is the same system that allowed for him to be president.
Exactly. So what can I expect, I guess? But that shit really blew my mind. I cannot believe that. I guess I should have expected it by how much he was hiding them, but holy shit. That's a scandal there.
And his dumbass, racist ass, poor ass white followers are still going to find a way to justify that when them niggas are praying for $750 every 2 weeks.
Hoping. Well, that's my check. So what about you? Who are you checking this week?
So I don't have a check for a specific person, but I have a check for a specific cliche that I have has popped up continuously in the past month in my life.
Okay.
Which is the cliche that women are more emotional than men, and that women are more emotion based than men as far as
decision making.
Decision making.
Okay.
Decision making and actions.
Okay.
Gonna keep it real quick. A load of bullshit. When we talk just to be frank, women may tap
Franklin.
into different emotions than men do. But to say that women are more emotional than men when men go around killing bitches for giving the wrong phone number and fucking killing their wives and their fucking girlfriends and
Their
shooting their
children.
and fucking starting wars and all kind of other and children and all kind of other dumbass bullshit is a fucking lie and a joke. And to say that men don't run off of emotion when you hurt their little ass motherfucking ego, and then all of a sudden we get these dumbass fucking policies and all type of other bullshit, and the men in power don't want to let you get promoted because you didn't want them to let you smack their ass and all that other type of shit. Is that not emotion that they fucking acting on?
Yeah, little dick emotion.
I'm tired of hearing that narrative.
Yeah.
It's so fucking dumb. Just because the emotion that a woman shows is different than the emotion that a man shows doesn't mean that his actions are
not based on that emotion,
so
right?
shut the fuck up. Niggas.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Very emotion driven.
This.
Very emotion driven. Very emotional.
What are we talking about? Our president is like the most emotional nigga ever. This nigga gets sensitive as fuck. Like,
ups and
we're talking about me. They're black about, fake news, blah, blah, blah. A big old emotional ass nigga running the fucking free world. Actually, there have been about 46 emotional ass niggas running the fucking free world.
If we look globally,
what are we really talking about? So that's just something. I can't put that on a specific person because, like I said, this is it's big conversation that I've been having. It's just been a theme of September for me for whatever reason. But I keep having to talk to men about how women are emotional and we let our emotions get the best of us. Like niggas don't do the same thing. Humans are emotional. Let's say that people are emotion based. But to say that women do it more than men is bullshit and it is not true and it's a fucking lie. And there's so many examples to support why that shit is not motherfucking true. You saying women are emotional because when I get mad and passionate about something and I'm talking to you about it, I may raise my voice and shed a tear. Which one is more emotional, me doing that or me shooting you in the fucking head because you told me no thank you?
But I mean,
which one is more emotional?
But on the same hand, like I'm not gonna add because you're making all the sense and that's enough. Because
add it.
Anger is an emotion.
It's an emotion. Do they think that that's something separate? I don't get it.
So like
what?
All
the niggas that give their fucking post game talk. Oh, the game. Hold on, let's see real quick. Post game talk. That's fucking emotional.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like
fucking
it's
Marshawn Lynch, who I love and hope to marry or at least see his penis one day. I'm only here so I won't get fined. The emotion is irritation.
The heat one.
Shit. I won't say I'm surprised.
Me neither.
I won't say I'm surprised, but
I'm glad that
Buckets in the final.
Good.
I have a love-hate relationship with him.
Facts, me too. Not gonna lie. Ever since he left my Timberwolves.
I have a love-hate relationship with him, but it'll be interesting to see. But anyway, yeah. I hate that whole argument. I'm over that argument.
That could be a whole nother main course, bro. Like that's crazy.
We can talk about that another day.
We definitely, because
when, like I said, coming up for me continuously, and I just want to nip that in the bud. Ladies, the next time a nigga tell you that you too fucking emotional, laugh in that motherfucking nigga face and watch his emotions pop up.
Yeah.
Next time you pull his dick out, laugh and watch how his emotions flare up. Fuck are y'all.
Whoa. Is that a feeling? Is that a?
Here I go. Oh no.
Is that a feeling?
Here go my emotions leaking out. Get the fuck out of here. I hate hearing that dumbass shit.
Facts.
Men are more emotional. Then when I start my rant, then it's no, we're not saying men aren't emotional at all. Women are just more. Yeah. Yeah. I got it. The emotion that she's feeling right now is feeling dumb. That's the emotion that's coming out right now.
People experience emotions all the time. It's a different emotion. That's so weird. It just doesn't make sense.
Everyone experience emotion. Are y'all dumb?
All the time.
We're all based off of emotion.
That's like literally when you're not human. Like at the end of the day, when you're not human. So that's crazy.
It's a constant gaslighting of women for me to try to make us feel fucking dumb and shit. But anyway, that's my check.
Got you.
Don't bring none of that fucking women are emotional bullshit to me anymore.
I won't.
Because I'm the type of bitch that's gonna call out your fucking emotion.
And make you emotional. Oh gosh.
That's it.
All right. So final segment of the show is the tip. Again, for our new listeners, the tip is like the opposite of the check. It's a time for us to end on a positive note and to recognize something positive that has happened in the past week. It's great to end the show like this. So Camille, who are you tipping this week? Leave us with some positivity.
Someone that I have tipped many times before, and I will expect to tip many times in the future. Megan, the 2 E's Stallion. I'm always going to tip her because guess what? Why the fuck not? She is tall.
Perfect.
Is thick. She expresses herself. She is my Aquarius sister. And she
100 most influential.
You know, she's getting these checks. So happy for her that she got, that she's starting to get this white money. And I love everything about her. And I hate that these stupid ass things have, found their way to her. But she is somebody that can't do any wrong in my eyes. And I know we talked about this earlier, but all the people that's hypothetically tweeting like, well, what are we going to do if we found out that Megan was wrong? Suck her big toe, which is probably bigger than your penis because she's a stallion and she's 5'11", my nigga. Like, I'm always going to tip her and I'm always going to be on her team. And I am just so amazed by her fucking strength through all that she has been through in the public eye. She fucking lost a bunch of people that are important to her and have tried to, she's been through all these scandals and people tried to get mad at her for fucking twerking and people tried to get mad at her for rapping and people tried
lost
to
her mom and her grandma on her climb to fame.
So it's just, I'm just so happy for her and I hope she continues to break. She fucking did a song with Beyonce and Minaj already.
She will.
We're only 4 years in.
It's
just 4 years in. So that is who I'm tipping because I always got to send my system love. That's it. What about you, Sanj?
I'm tipping my mama. I'm tipping newly minted Dr. Emily is in the fucking house. My mother finished a doctorate program this week. And so she is officially a doctor. Which is amazing.
I love to see it.
She finished her doctorate program the same year that her youngest kids was starting their bachelor's. And so she worked her tail off the past few years.
She said, y'all not gonna beat me.
Yes.
I love that.
She was like, she was like, I'm gonna be done with this before y'all even start, you know what I mean? So
I ain't gonna be raising y'all hands talking about who's first generation. Not you. Okay? Because I got my doctorate.
And look, now she fucking up everybody's scholarships. Damn, man. Irritating. But extremely, extremely proud. I'm so happy for her. It's been a journey. We be FaceTiming, showing her how to submit, how to download shit, how to put it there. My mom is very African and very not tech savvy. And so we had to walk her through some shit. She didn't even know that she was done until she was done. And then she was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think there's any more classes. She was like, let me check. And like, oh, no, you're done. She just be taking it as it comes. Like, if they tell me there's something to do, I do it. And this time they didn't tell me nothing more. So I think I'm done. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Wow. That is fucking amazing. Because I think like me is keeping track. Like, oh, 2 more.
Yeah, because I'll be asking her, like, how many more classes do you have? Every time. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm like, what race is like that? Like, get to the finish line.
This? Are you
what?
Being here?
Yes, but I'm extremely, extremely proud, and I'm happy for her because now she gets to be done studying. And she said she's going to join a Bible study group, and so that's about to be her next venture, I guess. So shout out to my mom's new Bible study group. Y'all keep Bibling.
Oh.
That's it.
Y'all keep Bibling?
Yeah.
I'll take it. Okay. I don't want to run off of emotion or anything.
Get your feelings in check, woman. Gosh, women. I am. These are times when I am so proud to not be part of the binary. I'd be like, oh, they're not fucking with me. This ain't got nothing to do with me, man. I don't fuck with neither one of these.
Talking to y'all.
Yeah, they be tripping. I don't know, man.
21 Savage once said, "Nigga, pick a side or you gonna die in the middle." Okay.
Rest in peace to Son.
Look, got that Wakanda in you. Somebody call Clifford. I don't like him.
Jeez. All right, well, that's the show for this week. I'm going to sleep.
For tuning in. I know it's fucking midnight.
It's late.
Wait, it actually.
It's not midnight.
Okay, it actually is. Okay, not yet.
No, it's not midnight.
We're close to it.
It is close enough.
Bye, y'all.
Peace out, y'all. Have a good rest of the week.